it's something that is part of nearly everybody's childhood.
I think that people do have an idea, because the film was so iconic.
Grease is set in an early kind of rock and roll, Frankie Valli-esque style. In fact, it's almost the original tribute musical, except it's original, which is kind of bizarre that it has managed to kind of ingrain itself into our culture.
I think everybody thinks it is a bubblegum musical, but there are very real issues. There are bullying things, there's obviously a girl getting pregnant.
The story is about teenagers and their journey growing up and what everyone goes through, the peer pressures, the things that you have to deal with, like fitting in, conforming.
The show differs very much from the original film. Everybody thinks they know Grease and they know actually 3 numbers from it, and then when they get to sit down they think, oh, that's from this and that's from this.
With a movie they can cut the numbers into all different kinds of shots, and our dancers and performers here have to do everything. So we've got really high energy numbers and they have to keep working all the time. As well as that, there's a couple of additional numbers that you won't see in the film that are just in the musical, so we've obviously got those as well.
What we've done from the outset was to try and get young people, because I think it's really important that this musical has a life that relates to the audience that's coming to watch it.
We've got a really strong cast, strong in every aspect of musical theatre. They're great singers, they're great actors, and then for me they're really great dancers, so they're working very hard.
I wanted to put a cast on stage that maybe not everybody had seen before. We just trawled the north, south, east and west. I mean, people came from London, we had people coming from America.
When you get a cast together for the first time, there's that buzz of excitement. That's exciting.
Our cast is really strong, so our T-Birds really are like the T-Birds from the film, and the Pink Ladies are really like the Pink Ladies. So I think we've got the casting just right, and we're so lucky that we had such an array of Irish talent to choose from. The performers are working so hard to kind of keep that energy right throughout the show to represent high school pupils. So that's what I've tried to do in the choreography, to make sure that it fits with the type of person that would be at Rydell High.
Rehearsals are difficult no matter what, but I suppose for a show like Grease, it's so high energy. I mean, they're meant to be high school kids, they're 17, so at that age you've got so much energy.
For me, it's always about acting through singing. Almost stop singing, like stop singing. We know you can sing, we're assuming you can sing. Tell me the story. I need you to be Danny, I need you to be Sandy, I need to believe you. So stop showing me you have a fabulous voice, that's a given, just tell me the story. Sing it in English, as I always say.
And my heart is set on you. And my heart is set on you.
We're talking about a month of pretty intensive rehearsal stroke performances, and people have got to be on the ball, on the money all the time, which means that stamina comes into play. So the challenge for me was to get an actor who isn't just fresh out of college, but they've got a bit of stamina, they know what it's about, but that they can bring the vitality that I need. In terms of Danny, Carl is experienced, so his challenge is actually to forget maybe a few things that he has got in his head about Danny, because he's actually played the part before.
The winner of the search for Sandy is Lauren Nevin.
Lauren came through the process of search for Sandy, and so we had actually quite a long process with her. It was a very different process for me because I didn't get to coach. I'm one of these directors who coaches in auditions. I don't let them just do their 3 minutes and then leave, just to see if they are pre-programmed, and Lauren is a complete blank canvas. So I did get a chance to work with her, I suppose, behind the cameras. We did a rehearsal before the final, and we did do some dialogue. She is a very intelligent girl, and she actually talked herself that she didn't want to be a drip or a wet, you know, a Sandy.
Go a bit closer there now, Lynn.
The chemistry between Sandy and Danny is the whole show, but that's sort of down to the people playing it, and I think that sometimes people just have a natural chemistry, so I think when casting the parts, that is something that has to be considered as well.
In terms of Sandy and Danny, they have to bring their own personalities to a part, and they have to be weaved into this tapestry. There has to be a magic somewhere, and it's up to me to discover, and the actors to discover that magic and bring it to the Gaiety Theatre.
And for me, the sense of achievement is seeing them bring the house down. Like, that's great. That's the buzz for me.
I mean, there's nothing like sitting in a theatre and watching a piece of live theatre. It's unfolding right in front of you. You're brought into it.
The whole reason you come to theatre is that it comes out and you're actually in it. And if we can do that with Grease, it'll be fantastic.